What's going on, my beautiful designers? Today is an exciting day for me because I get to make a video about two things that I love, AI and UI. But actually today I'm gonna compare two of the best AI tools for UI that I found. That's Visily and Uizard. Which one is more powerful, which one is more compatible, which one is easier to use, which one is cheaper, and most importantly, which one can you actually implement in your workflow if you're a professional designer or if you're anyone else. I'll answer all of those questions and more. Let's get into it. First of all, I have to mention that I have no affiliation with any of these tools. I'm just giving my completely honest opinion as a professional designer. So I reviewed both of these tools on this channel in depth. If you want to get to know them more, if you want to get to know how to use them, please watch my other videos on each one of them. But right now, I just want to share with you my most important discoveries that I made along the way, and I'm going to compare them to you because these are the best two tools right now in the market for AI and UI. So let's get into it. So I have 5 different categories to compare. That's functionality, performance, compatibility, usability, and pricing. So for functionality, I have 2 sections. That's AI features and non-AI features. Now for AI features, these two tools have pretty much all of the basic features in common. So they both have text to UI, sketch to UI, screenshot to UI, generate theme, design review. All of those are in common. But with Visily, you get the extra functionality of creating diagrams. And that's pretty huge feature to have. It allows you to write a prompt and create a diagram or a user flow. It's good for brainstorming or for creating a foundation for your product. On the other hand, Wizard has generated text and images, which are coming soon in Visily, but they're not here yet. They just have that in the UI that it's coming soon. So in terms of AI features, I'm gonna have to give it to Visily because text to diagram is a pretty huge feature to have and pretty important. In Figma, you can actually pay extra to get FigJam, but here you get the functionality of FigJam right inside of Visily. And now for the non-AI features, we have the common features that are pretty basic, which is like basic editing tools, collaboration, prototyping, low fidelity, high fidelity design, and templates. But then Visily is offering more features that you actually need as a designer to edit your UI. So that's like smart components, advanced layout tools like padding and clipping and containers and structured design. They actually have that in Visily, but they don't do that in Wizard. And you actually get responsive elements in Visily as well. So in Wizard, it's just all manual editing without any structure or advanced layout tools or components. So for non-AI features, it's definitely going to Visily. And of course, overall functionality is definitely going to Visily. Now let's jump into performance. I actually took all of the common features between these two tools to actually compare them one-to-one. Now for text to UI, I found that Visily is giving me much more coherent UIs as opposed to Wizard, where I keep getting designs that are not very usable, that require a lot of editing to actually make them usable. For Visily, it's actually giving me usable design and actually good looking UI as opposed to Wizard. So text to UI is gonna go to Visily. Now for sketch to UI, actually Wizard is performing better here because it actually interpreted my very ugly sketches into actually proper elements and UIs. Whereas Visily struggled to understand my sketches because they actually have a sketching guide that you have to follow, and you actually have to draw each element based on their guide, otherwise it will not understand what you're sketching. So you have specific things to draw for a button, for a text field, for a title, for a card. It's just very specific in Visily. So the performance of this feature, sketch to UI, goes to Wizard. Now screenshots to UI actually perform the same in both tools, actually completely exactly the same. So I'm gonna give that an equal. Generating themes as well works the same in both tools. You can generate themes using natural language or keywords, or enter a link to a website that you want to copy, or generate a theme using a screenshot. And all of those features are available in both tools and they both work the same. So I'm gonna give that an equal as well. Now both tools have an AI feature that will review your design and give you suggestions for better accessibility and better adherence with web protocols. But actually Wizard gave me much more in-depth suggestions for usability, and Visily only covers things like color contrast, areas where the text is not very legible or color on a background is not very high in contrast. It's very limited in Visily. In Wizard, it's not perfect, but it's much better. So I'm gonna give that to Wizard. Now for editing tools, this one definitely goes to Visily because they have much better editing tools, and it's much closer to what you get in professional UI design tools like layout and structures and components and padding and stuff like that. So all of that is available in Visily, but is not very good in Wizard. I'm gonna give this one to Visily. Both of these tools have collaboration features, features and they're both good enough. They work well, so that's good. For prototyping, I found that Uizard has better prototyping tools, more advanced. It actually gives you the ability to link to different states of a component. It even has transition animations, which is good, but Visily is only just the basic linking page to page, and that's it. So for prototyping, I'm gonna go with Uizard, and both of these tools have low fidelity and high fidelity view. They both work the same. They have different styling. For the lo-fi view, they actually both work. So that's one gonna be equal for the both of them. And lastly, we have templates. For templates, I found a better variety in Visily because they have a larger library and larger library of components that you can use, and they even have templates for complete processes. So if you don't want to create the whole process of logging in on a mobile, for example, you can grab that template. It will give you like 10 screens for the login process. So that's good in terms of templates for Visily. It's just much more fleshed out. So I'm gonna give this one to Visily as well. So overall for performance, we have a tie. Each one of these tools is good at certain things and bad at certain other things. It's up to you what you value the most in terms of an AI tool to create a UI. For me personally, I found Visily is better because it actually gives you a little bit more usable UIs and designs, which is like the main feature. So I personally think that performance-wise, Visily takes the cake. Now for compatibility, both of these tools can actually import your design from other UI tools like Figma, Sketch, or XD, but only one lets you go the other way around and export your design from here to Figma, and that's Visily. This is a pretty huge feature to have, and I'm very happy that Visily was able to actually achieve this compatibility because none of the other AI tools for UI that I found actually have that. You have to install the plugin in Figma and then import your design very easily and very accurately, and you get a very good structured design inside of Figma. It will actually give you proper auto layout on all of the elements, so you actually don't have to restructure your design in Figma after you import it. It's just all done for you, and I love that. On the other hand, in Uizard, it will generate your designs and it will just leave them there for you. You cannot export them, you cannot even edit them because they don't have the proper tools for editing. So yeah, that's a pretty big issue for me in Uizard. So compatibility definitely goes to Visily. Now for usability. Both of these tools have a pretty similar interface, but Visily definitely wins this one for me because they have a very obvious, well thought out attention to detail to cater to what the designer actually needs. You have all of the tools that you need for any element hovering in the contextual menu, or even below that element you get more specific editing tools for components, and they have a lot of good attention to detail and very small things that you notice that makes you just happy because user experience is important. It's just small things like that that makes a better user experience and better quality of life, which is lacking in Uizard. Now let's get into pricing. So far it's clear that Visily is winning, but guess what? It's actually also cheaper. With Visily you get more AI tools like the diagram, and you get more editing tools, more professional tools, all while being cheaper. Actually, for my reviews on these two tools, I had to pay for Uizard because their free plan is not actually very usable. On the other hand, for Visily, I actually did all of my testing in the free plan. That's how good it is. So overall, I just want to let you know that Visily is definitely a no-brainer. If you want to try an AI tool for UI, Visily is the way to go right now in its current form. Maybe Uizard will add more features in the future, but Visily is definitely leading in this space right now. Even though Uizard is getting more marketing and more attention, Visily is better. That's all I gotta say. So in terms of workflow, if you're a designer like me, you can definitely implement Visily in your workflow because it's very easy to use. You can generate your screens inside of Visily and import them to Figma and continue your professional work. That actually works very well. But if you're not a designer and you have an idea or a concept that you want to create, well, you should actually also use Visily. This is my advice to you. You can look at the data that I gave you, you can try both of the apps and make a decision for your own. But I just wanted to share my thoughts because I found a very big difference between these two apps that is not very obvious from the surface. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you want to stay updated on AI tools, and I'll see you in the next video.